Good morning, everybody. I am so excited that all of you are here with us in the Zoom room and also on FB Live. Welcome to the very first session of Coffee Round the Table. Just to give you a brief background of what we have started. Last year, after the annual meeting, a small group of MDRT members from the Philippines thought of sharing with each other ideas that they got from speakers at the annual meeting. And then when we started planning, we thought, well, since we're already talking, why don't we just share it to everybody who wants to learn? And so July of 2021, we had 2 sessions of the Philippine Post MDRT annual meeting discussions. One session was with fellow MDRT members from the Philippines, and another session, we invited the speakers from the annual meeting to join us. And these are global members of the MDRT. Now this year, my partner in crime, Louis Gimenez from Pru Life of UK, and I thought, hey, why don't we kickstart the year with a bang? Why don't we bring together a powerhouse of MDRT members and again, share with anybody who wants to learn about our experiences, about our knowledge that we have incurred over the years that we are in the business to, again, anybody who wants to learn. And so here we are today. I would like to introduce to you the moderator and my co-host for this morning, Mr. Louis Gimenez from Pru Life of UK. Louis, take it away.
Good morning, everybody. It's a very bright Saturday morning in the metro. Well, depends on where you are really in the metro, because in some places I heard that, it's a little bit gloomy, but welcome to the first edition of Coffee Round the Table. Okay, so thank you, Miss Janet, because we have to applaud Miss Janet because she's the one who really instigated everything last year. And she really rounded up, a lot of MDRT qualifiers from all over the Philippines, across all companies, to be in one session last year and look at where it is now. Okay, we're starting the year with this MDRT session because number one, we want to learn. We want to learn from this powerhouse cast of speakers that we have this morning. And number two, okay, there's no better way of spending your Saturday mornings holding your cup of coffee than to hear these powerful individuals share whatever they want to share about their best practices and what their plans are for 2022. So welcome sa inyong lahat. I know that we have guests, Miss Janet, not only from Luzon, but we also have guests from Visayas and Mindanao. Okay,
we're all over. We're all over the country.
We're all over the country, and we are live on Facebook. So let's get this show started. Let me introduce our guest speakers for this morning. Let's start it off with this wonderful gentleman. He has been in the life insurance industry for more than 6 years now. He is a 5-time MDRT from FWD, and he belongs to MDRT class of 2016. Ladies and gentlemen, let us give a virtual welcome to Mr. Val Domingo. Good morning, Val.
Good morning, Louis, and good morning, everyone. I'm just so privileged and honored to be here. This is how I intended my year to be. At the start of the year, I said that I really wanted to add value to the financial planner community here in the Philippines. And lo and behold, I got a call from my friend Ricky So, telling me about this avenue to really contribute to the knowledge and best practices of MDRTs. Of course, not just here in the Philippines, but I'm sure we will also be broadcasted because it's on FB Live in other parts of the world. So I'm just so happy to be here.
Thank you so much, Val. And we are even happier that you're here with us today. Our next guest speaker has been in the life insurance industry since 2019. He is a two-time MDRT from Pru Life UK, and he belongs to MDRT class of 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome Mr. Chuck Crisostomo.
Hello, hello, hello. Good morning sa ating lahat. Sobrang excited ako kasi alam ko hindi lang ako yung magbibigay. Alam ko matututo ako ngayong umaga. So alam mo yun, skill sharing tong umaga na to. So I'm super excited.
All right. Very, very short, Chuck, no? Everybody will be learning something from today, and we're very happy to have you as well. Our only rose among the thorns for today, okay? And she has been a financial advisor for more than 7 years now. She is a two-time MDRT with a Court of Table qualification in 2021. She is a financial advisor from Sun Life, and she belongs to MDRT class of 2017. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome Miss Kimberly Cheung Amata.
Hi, good morning. Thorn among the sampalitas daw, sabi ni Miss Janet kanina. Hindi daw sila thorns.
Oo.
Thank you for this invitation, and I hope na meron akong ma-share sa inyo, sa mga nasa Zoom, na something na magiging helpful para sa inyo. And excited din akong marinig yung ating other panelists. Ayun.
Yes. So just to let you know, everybody, so we have the best of MDRT Philippines right here this morning, today. And you know what? 2 Saturdays from now, we will have the best of MDRT Global. Okay, so this is a first of a 2-part series in what we plan for Coffee Round the Table. Pero let's focus on what we have right now. Okay.
Yes.
And
let's
go ahead,
give
Ms. Janet.
let's give a quick short guideline lang to our participants, no. We would appreciate it if you will keep yourself on mute the whole time, and if there are any questions, please do not hesitate to type it in our chat box. We will leave 15 minutes towards the end of the session to answer all your questions. Yan. Wala lang tungkol sa love life, ha?
It's February.
Baka ibang session na dapat yon. So ayan, I'm excited. Let's get started.
All right, so let's get the show started. We have prepared several questions for our guests, and very similar to the very, nauusong mga question and answer portions in our news cycles the past few weeks. We're gonna make it a little bit more challenging for you guys, but really what we want to get from our guests is, their best practices, how they were able to cope with the past 2 years with this pandemic, and with the new normal that we have right now, how are they going to go about their businesses this 2022? So for the first question, all right, we had an unprecedented past 2 years with this pandemic. It was more than a disruption, as it really forced people, businesses, countries, and society as a whole to adapt. In terms of our profession and the manner in which you individually and respectively do things, what were the most important lessons that you took away from this experience? Let us start with Val of FWD.
Thank you so much, Louis. 2020 and 2021 were really very disruptive, no, in terms of all aspects naman in the business, no. But ako, one thing that I realized is yung disruption readiness, diba? We were all caught by surprise by what happened during the pandemic. The good thing about me and of course our team, we've been actually doing a digital platform probably since 2018, 2019. Most of our meetings that we plug into, as far as our agency is concerned, is already digital. We've been utilizing technology as our means of really connecting with each other. So it's very important to be disruption and digital ready. but at the same time, it also complements to have a supportive company or organization that is also into innovation. So yun siguro para sa akin, that's one thing that I really appreciate, no, being part of this industry na for the past 6 years. Medyo ano naman, di ba? More on technology na ang industry natin. So ang nakakatuwa nun is we were actually supported. Couple that, of course, with the government agency support also in allowing remote selling or yung digital selling. Unlike before, the practice is really face-to-face. So years and years of experience from that kind of setup, and then coming with a remote selling setup allows us to really continue on with our business in spite and despite of the disruption that happened during the past 2 years. Siguro if I may add, no, second thing that I realized lang is really parang practicing extreme self-care. We know that MDRT is espousing the whole person approach. And if we are not able to fully take care of ourselves, we will not be able to fully carry out our mission in serving our clients. So kung magpa-apekto tayo dun sa mga external na nangyayari, most likely, we will not be able to live out our mission and our purpose, why we are actually here in this industry, in this career, or even our profession. So that's it, Louis.
All right, thank you so much, Val. No, so Val really, you prepared your entire team many years before the onset of the pandemic, and you used a lot of the technology that's available, no, so that we can go through, what happened in 2020. Ano naman sa team mo and sa business mo, Kim? What were your takeaways? What were your lessons back in 2020?
Actually, itong tanong na to, natanong na to sa akin before, and the answer is still the same. The first lesson was we should know how to pivot. I think it applies to our profession as well as to other businesses. Nung nag-start yung pandemic, we had to change a lot of the ways on how we do things, diba? Cannot do face-to-face na. We have to have Zoom meetings instead. Hindi na pwede yung mga live na paper applications natin with clients. We have to switch to digital. We can't even promote the usual way. We have to do it through social media instead. And as an advisor, kailangan maging mabilis ka. Hindi ka pwedeng mapag-iwanan. So we had to shift from the physical to digital. And you have to do it quick. Otherwise, you're just gonna flounder and sink talaga. The second lesson was actually very similar sa sinabi ni Val. The second lesson for me was refresh. And refresh has different meanings depending on where you apply it. So either of those meanings I think is applicable to us. Yung isa, it means to reinvigorate your energy because guys, Zoom fatigue is real. yung continuous na isolation, yung mga lockdowns, if you've had COVID, yung pagka-quarantine mo ng 14 days or even more kung medyo mas grabe yung symptoms mo, it's no joke. Malaki yung effect niya sa utak mo, sa spirit mo. Yun. So do what you need to do as a person. Refresh yourself, refresh your mind, your heart, your soul. Kung it's through cooking, do that. Through baking, through painting, yoga, what have you, do that. Yun. Basta ma-cleanse uli yung pagkatao mo. Another refresh meaning is to update. So we do that to make the system speed up, to improve our how we do things. So kailangan natin mag-update yung mga kaalaman natin, yung knowledge na meron tayo, yung services natin para relevant pa rin tayo sa mga clients natin, kahit ano pa yung situation. Yun.
Right, wonderful. I like the 2 points that she raised, no? Pivoting, pivot. That's really, I think, one of the more essential terms that we learned the past 2 years. No? We need to know how to transition, how to pivot when it comes to our approach to things. And of course, refresh. Oh yes, definitely. It's really refreshing our mental state. It's like a reboot, No? We have to see things in a different light. Wonderful. Now, for Chuck naman, no? Chuck, just to inform everybody, Chuck was able to qualify for MDRT during this pandemic. So, that's something that's very important to highlight because he really, I believe, took advantage of whatever transitions, whatever adaptations in our industry had the past 2 years. So, Chuck, what were the important lessons, that you were able to take away these past 2 years?
Yes, at 2020, 2021 na maximize ko siya, and pinaka magandang lesson is social media is queen, content is king. 100% of my sign up nang galing lahat sa social media. I just nagpo-post lang ako online and I just add value. Gustong-gusto ko yung sinabi ni MDRT Val, yung adding value. I love that. Sobrang gustong-gusto ko yun. That's number one. Social media is the real game changer. Ayan yung important lesson na nakuha ko. Sobrang kailangan natin i-maximize. Kung hindi ka sasabay, nako. Yan na po ang direction ngayon. Pangalawa is productivity management. I don't believe in time management. I cannot manage time. God can manage time, hindi ako yon. So, productivity management, I'm a part-timer since 2019 up until now. Maraming nagtataka paano ko nagagawa yon. For me, napakahirap kasi syempre sa bahay gusto mo rin, hindi mo na mahiwalay kung ano ba talaga ang personal mong gagawin sa trabaho. Parang everyday trabaho. So, for me, it's all about productivity management. Everyday magsusulat. Meron akong whiteboard dito na sobrang laki. Mas malaki pa doon sa mga university, gano'n. Tapos napakadami kong mga notebooks. Planning talaga. Planning. Kung hindi ka magaling mag-planning, makipag-usap ka sa mga taong magaling mag-planning. And lastly, motivation management. Anong ibig sabihin nun? Hindi sapat na breadwinner ka lang. Ako po, breadwinner for 10 years. And responsibilidad na po siya sa akin. Hindi na po siya something gigising ako. Ay, magbabayad ako ng ilaw. Magbibigay ako sa nanay ko. Hindi na siya ganon. So dapat, lagi kong nai-remind yung sarili ko na ako si Chuck Crisostomo. Gusto kong mag-travel, gusto kong mag-business, ito ang passion ko. So dapat maraming ikaw. Kasi hindi sasapat ang isang motivation for you to fight. Napakabigat ng pandemic. Dapat talaga paghandaan mo siya mentally. So yun yung tatlong bagay. Social media is the real game changer, productivity management, and motivation management.
Right. Wonderful. Wonderful input from Chuck. Yes, Miss Janet.
Louis, yeah, I'd like to also hear from our panelists, no? Kasi alam ko, Val, you have a wife and kids, right?
Yes, that's true. I have 4 wonderful kids and a very beautiful and supportive wife.
Oh, yung sarap naman. Si Kim naman, I know you are also married with 1 baby, right? Yan. Chuck, I know you're single.
And ready to mingle.
And ready to mingle, yeah.
Ready to party and ready to party.
Now, lahat naman tayo, meron tayong pamilyang inuuwian, inaalagaan. Actually, I think most of us, family is part of our motivation. No? My question is, because we're all work from home, and I've experienced this personally. We're all work from home. It came to a point wherein parang naghalo-halo ang schedule. You know, you don't know when to stop. You don't know when to leave your desk, when to stop accepting calls, when to reply to messages from your clients, and when to start family time. Sitting down, having a good meal with the family, no phones on the side, or scheduling a Netflix binge watching, or I don't know, go to a park somewhere and just walk around, enjoy the fresh air, enjoy the view. How was your experience in that area? Ayan. Maybe we can start with Chuck kasi siya yung nagbubukod tanging single sa atin.
Ako po, syempre feeling ko mas magaan sa akin kasi ako po yung single eh. So gusto ko malaman yun sa kanila po. Pero sa akin, 80-20 rule, ano yung 20% na magbibigay ng results, yun lagi ang inuuna ko. So nakalista kagad ano ang mga dapat unahin, ano magbibigay ng results, unahin ko po yun. And hindi po talaga ako magaling sa admin. Pumasok ang pandemic, nagkaroon ako ng personal secretary na kasama ko rin sa bahay. So talagang mabilisan ng galaw. And now I add additional one. So since alam ko yung weakness ko, admin works, so kailangan kong ibigay ito sa kanila at yung pakikipag-usap, yun ako magaling. So yun yung minamaximize ko. So ganun ko siya minaximize this pandemic. Alamin lang palagi kung ano yung mag-lead sa results.
Wow. How about you, Val?
Yeah, very interesting question. Kami ng wife ko, we're actually practicing naman work-life integration, no? Ever since. That's the reason why we actually chose this career, because we know that we'll be able to somehow manage our activities in the family, in the household, and at the same time dun sa business, no? However, during the pandemic, tama naman na parang somehow everything was seamless, di ba? The time that we actually spend in the home is also the same time that we spend at work. So halos wala talagang delineation. It was quite an adjustment at first. However, when we realized that it's not parang making us effective in terms of how we are managing the household and the business activities, we just sat down and then sabi namin, sige, let's just parang put a parang time block for everything. So early in the morning, of course, that's gonna be my personal time. Ganon din yung wife ko, meron siyang time para sa sarili niya. So that before our day begins, kami mismo nakapagbigay na kami sa sarili namin respectively, individually. Meron na kaming me time, meditation, I do my own workout routine early in the morning. And of course, yung learning session ko personally, no? Ganun din siya. Meron siyang sariling segment of her day that she can actually do that. And then of course, after that, it's really family time. Getting the kids ready for school. Usually naman, their school starts even before my official business hours start, no? So we help them out, prep up for school. And then the rest of the day, we run it as if we are going to the office. Kami ng wife ko. We have our own separate workstations in the house. We designated a particular spot in the house na less distraction siya. But come lunchtime and mealtime, yan, we make it a point that we are on the table together with our children. One interesting practice na ginawa namin with our kids para ma-manage din namin yung kanilang energy level. Right after lunchtime, we engage them in a 5-minute silent meditation. So yeah, we lead them into meditation practice so that ma-align din sila with their own energies. And the rest of the day, they can actually manage themselves na. No? Na-surprise kami ng wife ko because with this practice, every quarter, yung recognition ng mga anak namin, even without us supervising them, as in yung micromanaging their school activities at home, they ended up receiving awards.
Wow.
And at the same time, kami, we're also productive, di ba? Because we can focus on the things that we want to focus as far as business is concerned. So, yeah, tama yung sinabi ni Chuck kanina. It's really not about time management, but it's really productivity management. And at the same time, yung communication between me and my wife, and at the same time with our children as well. So that's
Masaya
it.
pong maging father ni Sir Val. Masaya sa bahay nila.
Gusto mo bang magbakasyon muna doon siya? Ikaw
Pwede
yung
naman.
panganay. Grabe, very impressive coming from our two gentlemen panelists. How about you, Kim? Being the wife, no? Iba kasi pag babae yung nagtatrabaho rin eh. How about you?
Before I answer that, Sir Val, pwede ba yung 5-minute meditation na yan sa 4-year-old?
I was about to
Baka
ask
pwede
that
dun
also.
Baka pwede dun sa anak ko.
Pwede siguro kahit 2
minsan
minutes
hyper.
muna.
Hyper pag after ng meal time.
Daming
Yun. So,
energy.
yung ditong pandemic parang your days are longer and shorter at the same time. Alam mo yun? hindi natatapos yung mga kailangan mong gawin around the house and for your work. Kasi nga, you're just in the same place most of the time. Yun. So, for me, dahil ako yung mommy, ako yung wife, ako din yung naghahanda ng food, ganyan. So, I do meal prepping para maging mas madali for me. Like, kasi syempre ako yung bumibili ng mga food namin for our meals dahil baka pag si husband yung pinabili ko, mali-mali pa yung iuwi. I'm sure the other ladies would relate. Yun, baka mali-mali pa. So ako yung bumibili. And then when I get home, before I freeze them, hinahati-hati ko na siya na naka-meal. Kung may mga gusto kong iluto, I marinate it na. And then i-freeze ko na siya. So that during mealtime, ganun ko na lang siya ilalabas. Nakahiwa-hiwalay na. Mas madali. And it's something na pwede kong ibilin kay husband na ganito mo siya lutuin. Okay na yan. Yun. And then, yun yung malaking nag-cut down sa time. Usually, I cook for our family in the morning para lunch and dinner, more or less, medyo solved na. If I need to add another food, ganyan, like veggie, something very quick na lang to do. Yun. So, yung day ko, it's usually split into blocks. Morning time, if I don't have a morning meeting, I spend it with my daughter sa online class niya. So, I'm just there so that I can see what she's doing, how she's doing, ganyan. But at the same time, I'm replying to my emails, I'm doing some work things alongside with her. Yun. So, quiet naman kasi siya usually. I mean, focus siya dun sa kanyang online class unless writing na. Yun. Medyo challenged pa kami pagdating sa writing. But if it's reading or math, ganyan, okay siya. Story time, okay siya doon. Yun. So after that, I do my work for our family business. And then it will be lunchtime. And then usually my Sun Life business, I do that in the afternoons. Yun. Unless I have clients who specially requested certain appointment times. Yun. Pero ganun, naka-block lang. Yun. Sometimes I can follow that. Yun. And there are days na medyo mas mahirap siyang gawin, but that's okay. I think we have to forgive ourselves pag hindi natin minsan nasusunod, just as long as we get back into it the next day.
Yan. Thank you very much. I guess, Louis, no, ang nakikita kong parallelism amongst our panelists is yung na-mention na term ni Val na time blocking, no? Scheduling certain activities in certain times of the day just to get things done, no? Wonderful. Thank you for those answers. Louis?
Yes, we really saw the whole person approach with their answers, no? And that's of course one of the foundations of MDRT, no? That's what they teach us. Now, second question. The past 2 years, our industry was one of the few industries that actually thrived and grew. No, so it somehow, no, it has been proven that it's pandemic proof to a certain degree. The uptake of insurance policies increased, but so did health and death-related claims. While you were out there speaking with your clients and your prospects, what were their reasons for starting their plans and or expanding their portfolio? How did you ensure that you were creating value for them and not just to get by, not just to get the sale? Okay, so let's start with Kimberly. How did you go about it the past 2 years?
Louis, itong pandemic na to, somehow there's a silver lining to it. Sa experience ko, we have more clients who become more open to insurance, to protection. Parang mas na-realize nila na super unprepared pala ako. Yung mga dating, no, hindi ko kailangan yan. Yung mga dating, pag in-approach mo pa lang sila, hindi ka pa nag-open ng mouth mo, ay hindi, okay na ako. Ganun na kagad yung sagot. Nag-iba yung pananaw nila dahil sa realities ng pandemic na to. And I think more than scaring or guilting our clients into getting a plan, getting their coverage, sincerity will have a longer lasting impression. yung kinakamusta mo sila, how they're doing, ganyan, na
Mm.
hindi agad-agad, ito yung plan, ito yung maganda sa'yo, blah, 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 and all that. Yun. So, when you make recommendations to your clients, it shouldn't be about what will benefit you the most as the advisor. I'm sure everyone would know that. Pero sometimes nagiging excited tayo sa sa mga gusto nating plans for our clients, di ba? Yun, it should be always about the client first. Ano ba yung status niya ngayon? Ano ba yung meron na siya? Ano ba yung kulang niya? Ganun. Ano ba yung budget na meron siya? Ganyan. Kamusta ba yung condition niya ngayon? Yung businesses niya ngayon? So, yung what would benefit the client the most? Yun yung I think the most important part. I get clients who ask me questions that's not Sun Life related, that's not insurance related even. Yun. Pero I'm happy to answer those questions kasi ibig sabihin nun, sa mata ng clients ko, I'm someone reliable na importante yung sinasabi ko, yung thoughts ko about their questions. Yun.
All right, so that's very good, inputs from Kimberly, no? Sincerity. Okay, sincerity, especially during this time. People need someone to open up to. People need somebody to talk to, especially the first part of the year. Almost everybody that we knew had to go through quarantine, had to go through self-isolation because of the spike in cases. So sincerity, I like that. I actually double underline that word. How about Val? Val, how did you go about it the past 2 years when it comes to creating value, for our clients?
2020 was actually one of our milestone years in terms of creating or generating the amount of business that we want for our team. It's primarily because siguro parang mas motivated ang mga planners in our team to really reach out to people. And yun din naman kasi yung parang somehow na i-pass on namin together with our agency leader, to keep on really adding value no matter what the season is or the occasion is. So that's one thing na parang na-realize ko na hindi hadlang yung pandemic for us to really carry out our mission and purpose as financial planners. For me, most of the clients na na-serve ko during these times actually, were existing clients. Of course, these clients also, since happy sila dun sa amount of service na binigay ko sa kanila, they are willing also to give referrals to me. Of course, couple that with the innovation na ginawa namin, which is more of adding value through social media, making ourselves available in FWD Live, at the same time, starting our YouTube channel nung wife ko, plus yung TikTok, kahit na medyo may mga bashers sa TikTok, di ba? Hindi mo naman pwedeng ma-win lahat yan. It adds up to the activity and at the same time yung credibility that we have as financial planners or financial professionals. So even yung mga nasa network namin before na hindi masyadong open to the idea kasi parang kilala nila kami, ganyan, but because we are already present and visible in the social media, that somehow gave credibility to us to be a parang subject matter expert, di ba? Katulad ng sinabi ni Kim kanina na tinatanong ka na ngayon ng ibang mga bagay, probably not related to insurance, but other things that they can probably think about, no? Lalong-lalo na dun sa mga market na tinatarget namin ng wife ko, which is usually mga young families, mga young business owners. So we get a lot of that inquiries, and syempre kapag nagkaroon na ng ganyan, wala ka ibang kailangan gawin but to respond. Diba? So it's basically, aside from social media marketing, ang nangyari ngayon is attraction marketing. You just attract the kind of market that you really want, not because you want them, but because that's who you are. Nakikita nila in the social media kung sino ka talaga. But I guess ang pinaka-bottom line ng lahat ng ito is being able to come from value and authentic intentions on helping our clients, that actually played a vital role in allowing my clients to open up to the idea of getting another plan, or probably a new plan to complete their portfolio, and then at the same time helping them understand yung financial blueprint nila, especially during the times na uncertain lahat, 'di ba? Maraming mga naririnig na yung kakilala nila biglang nawala na lang. Hindi na ikaw yung nagdi-disrupt dun sa thinking nila, but sila mismo, they already realize that there's a need for added protection, whether life or health yan or any other disability protection, as long as masisigurado nila that people in their families who are depending on them, either families nila or even their businesses, are actually secured should they be taken out of the picture. So para sa akin, isa sa mga nag-work talaga during this pandemic is yung power of annual reviews with my client. Because that allowed me to sell the idea of adding more without sounding too pushy with my client. So, yun siguro yung gusto kong madagdag dito sa question mo na to, Louis.
All right. Thank you, Val. So, again, stressing the power of social media. But, one of the things that Val did was attraction marketing. He wanted to bring authenticity through his posts or through his vlogs, making himself available, to people, not only because it's life insurance, not only because it's investments, but just that accessibility, being accessible to those who may want to ask or inquire about certain things. So very good, those are really wonderful inputs. How about Chuck? Yan, our social media king. How did you provide value or create value and convince your clients, hey, you have to expand your protection coverages or you have to start a plan now? How did you go about that?
First, health I mean, as I said, disturbed na lahat because of the pandemic. So for me, I don't want to chase them. Mayroon din ako, to be honest, I'll be very honest, I am so fearful to approach. 2020, 2021, hindi talaga ako nag-a-approach. Even dumating yung 2022, I just attract them. Perfect yung sinabi ni Sir Val, I just attract them. Tatlo yung hashtag ko, sa hashtag ko is puso, galing at malasakit. I attract people. Like for this year, I was able to secure 17 lives and all of them, most of them approached me talaga sa social media. So I really want to add value to them in making sure na binibigay ko yung journey as a financial advisor, and ano rin yung magiging journey mo kapag naging client kita. And I think yung nag-separate din sa akin kapag kakausap kita, ang lagi kong tanong sa sarili ko, magmi-meeting na tayo, matatapos na yung meeting natin, kamusta kaya yung journey niya? For me, at the end of the day, I don't care kung kukuha siya or hindi. My thinking is long term. Ang goal ko lang is magplanta ng seed sa kanya. Kung kailan siya kukuha siya. Basta ang mahalaga, gusto ko ang masabi niya na kakaiba ako, na may puso ako, na magaling ako, at hindi ko siya mamadaliin. It's up to him or her kung kailan siya kukuha. So, medyo ayoko po kasi pinipilit ako. So that's why talagang ganon.
All right. So again, social media, but it's more of Chuck's personal branding, his hashtag, puso, malasakit, at galing. Okay, so I think that's one of the things that we can also do, this year. Let's try to be more authentic. Let's try to be more sincere. Let's try to be more accessible, not only to our current clients, but of course, to those people who are out there looking for a financial advisor. Okay?
I think, Louis, to add, again, nakikita ko sa mga sagot ng ating guests this morning, is yung caring about other people, 'di ba? No matter what kind of front or facade that you put up when you talk to your clients, yung kung talagang you care about yung kausap mo, lalabas at lalabas and lalabas siya sa how we ask them how they are, pag kinakamusta natin sila, how we present yung whatever updates we have on what they've already started in their financial program or what we think they need. And nakikita rin siya kung paano natin tinatapos yung conversation with them. So, my heart is full this morning. Ang sarap to hear that there is an affirmation also sa ginagawa natin, Louis, sa sarili nating practice. Ayan.
Yes, that's
Sige.
right. It's such a warm feeling to have that
Yes.
there are a lot of advisors out there who share the same ideology. No, it's sabi nga nila, the mission, of course, has to come before the commission.
Yes,
And
correct.
all of our guests are exemplary examples of that. No, so let's
Yes.
go to the third question. No,
Mhm.
you guys all thrived during this pandemic. Kudos to everybody for being able to do that, no, for the past 2 years. But let's get to a little bit more, some of the technicalities of what you did. Can you share what, number one, was your mental approach, all right, during these times? Number two, what were the strategies or processes that you used to ensure that you were going to be successful during these times? And number three, and I think, equally important, no? How did you constantly grow your network and your prospect list, your sales pipeline, from a work from home setup? So it's like a three-part question. Let's start with Chuck.
For me, my mental approach is an opportunity. It's really an opportunity. Before, naalala ko, everyday, 3 client meeting, sobrang ang hirap gawin because of the traffic and everything. But now, sobrang daling gawin ng 3 client meetings because of Zoom. So it's really an opportunity for us to grow. Number two, ano-ano yung mga approach na ginawa ko. First, sa social media, magbigay na lang ako ng example. Sobrang maximize ko talaga ang IG stories. So for me, wag na wag kang magpo-post sa IG. Nang puro post mo lang, iisa lang yung pinopost mo. So make sure talagang variety siya. And naniniwala kasi ako sa copyright. Hindi bawal mangopya, pero right to copy. So for me, pagka may mga nakikita talaga ako na, ay, ang galing niya, may notification bell yan sa akin. Talaga naka-notified lahat ng post niyan. Talagang inaaral ko, ang galing, paano niya yung nagawa? So parang ako, binivisualize ko, tapos sige, gagawa din ako ng sarili ko. So IG stories, minaximize ko talaga yan. And doon din nakikita ng mga tao yung ginagawa ko. And sa post naman, I make sure din na I add value, hindi lang yung kung paano sila mag-acquire ng plan, kundi achievements, nilalagay mo din yan. Pero yung pinakamahalaga for me, if makita yung social media ko, may policy delivery, kung paano yung journey ko sa policy delivery, kung paano yung client servicing. For me, it's very foundational. Kung gusto mo talagang makita yung lakas ng social media, hindi siya sa likes and engagements. Mapansin ko, konti lang yung likes ito pero nag-convert to ng maraming sign up because maraming taong hindi naman talaga nagla-like. Ino-observe ka lang din nila. Siyempre gusto nilang kumuha sa isang taong alam nilang ang pagkakatiwalaan. So you need to be consistent regardless kung may likes yan o hindi. And lastly siguro, since ako 3 years pa lang in the industry, may mga na-upgrade tayo pero hindi pa ganun kadami. Mini-make sure ko lang din yung client servicing. And nagkakaroon tayo ng mga taong COI, yung mga center of influence, sila talaga I mean, refer na lang sila ng refer because naramdaman nila yung client servicing mo na iba yung care. Hindi, tsaka ako kasi rule ko pagka nabasa ko kagad din yung message ng client, makapag-reply man lang ako kagad talaga, sabihin ko nasa meeting ako, babalik ako. 5 minutes rule ko talaga yan. So sa akin, VIP sila. That's why I continue to add secretaries kasi yun din yung way para ma-make sure ko na maganda yung client servicing sa kanila. So ayan.
Wow. A lot of satisfied clients, no?
Right. That's right. And having multiple centers of influence, not just
Correct.
one, no, multiple centers of influence. And he was able to do that by, really being sincere and doing the client servicing, which is sometimes, an often overlooked aspect of our business. How about Val? what are your inputs when it comes to your strategies and how you grew your network during this pandemic?
Yeah, of course, in terms of mental approach, no, it's really having optimistic mindset lang, 'di ba? Stay positive in the mind, not on the RT-PCR. Making sure lang that I always parang look at the brighter side of things. Sabi nga ni Albert Einstein, 'di ba? In the midst of a crisis lies a great opportunity. So even though we are in the crisis period or era, I look at the opportunity to continuously serve the market that tina-target ko talaga. So one of the things na ginawa ko is really to look for clients na I can actually put my one foot in the door already. And that is yung mga corporate accounts. Initially, I would just provide the service, the value that I'm actually very competent on, which is doing life coaching, leadership trainings, ganyan. Of course, that builds credibility also to the organization and even nakaka-impress dun sa mga may-ari ng mga companies or even the middle management. So yun na yung parang entry ko in terms of opening a new market for me, a new network for me. So and then by continuously adding value to these organizations, even yung mga tao na pinapa-attend nila dun sa mga seminars ko, they get interested on what I have to offer as well, no, as financial planners. Kasama naman lagi yan dun sa agenda ko kapag nagbibigay ako ng value sa mga ganitong organizations. Of course, katulad ni Chuck, no, and probably most of us here, it's still social media marketing, di ba? Wala na talagang ibang way for us to increase our network but to be visible in social media. Sabi nga nila, if you're not on Facebook, if your business is not on Facebook, then you're not in business. So it's very important for us to put a real good branding for ourselves. Not just the not just the image itself, but the value that we can actually provide to our target market. So it's very important to really know yung tinatawag natin na massive transformative purpose so that people can actually relate to that, organizations can relate to that. And if nagkaroon ng alignment, yung what you have to offer through that massive transformative purpose and what they need, then it's easier for you to develop that market, that area of the market. Hindi ko pa rin binibitiwan during this time yung policy review. Kahit na online yan, I really made sure that I prepare a creative way of doing a policy review that will delight my clients, di ba? Parang virtual na nga lang tayo, online na nga lang yung meeting natin. Tapos magiging boring pa siya. So I have to innovate in terms of doing my policy review sa kanila na hindi lang talaga siya puro talks lang. It has to be visually appealing as well. I make a presentation, a PowerPoint presentation of their before and their current at saka kung ano yung nakikita ko na mangyayari sa kanila if they will continue to be consistent with their plans and if they will continue to add on to their portfolio. So para sa akin kasi really just being creative, especially during these times in terms of client servicing would make your client stay loyal to you and at the same time hindi sila mahihiya na magbigay ng mga referrals. So yun yung approach ko especially during this time.
That's a very new concept that we learned today, no?
Yeah.
Val has mentioned it several times. So
I'm taking note of that.
That's right. The power of policy reviews and how
how you do the policy review.
Correct.
Alam mo, I've been doing policy reviews for, I don't know, I can't even remember when I started doing this on a regular basis with my clients, but it's always spreadsheets. It's always spreadsheets. I love spreadsheets. Louis knows that. But boring din, 'di ba? So I love the idea that Val shared, no, na pwede mong gawa ng PowerPoint, pwede mong lagyan ng visuals. So thank you.
Yes, making it visually appealing, you know. Thank you for imparting that that strategy, Val, no? That's
Ganun din kasi ako, Louis. Yeah, I'm that type of client na kapag you present something to me, I want it to be visually
Visual.
appealing, very creative. Because I'm a visual learner. So we have to apply that in dealing with our clients, yung different modalities of learning, visual, auditory, and kinesthetics. Of course, yung kinesthetics medyo
Mahirap.
nahirapan tayo ngayon, di ba? Kasi walang physical contact. But at least we can appeal dun sa dalawa.
Yes, probably make a TikTok version of our policy review. Who knows, right? Okay, how about Kim? Kim, same question. How did you expand your network from a work from home setup? The strategies that you used. Can we have your inputs regarding that?
Sinulat ko yung policy review na kailangan visually appealing. Kasi like Miss Janet, Excel din ako pag nag-policy review kasi gusto ko rin ng Excel. I really love it. Ayun, so gagawin ko ng paraan para maging visually appealing din ng policy review ko. So for the question, mental approach was you have to be open. This is an industry where we have to be constantly learning and unlearning, applying, collecting, and selecting what works for you and what doesn't work for you. Yun. So we have a lot to learn from other advisors. And si Chuck, I think I have to learn how to be a social media queen from him. Yun, kasi hindi talaga ako social media person. Yun. So my approach was to learn how other advisors do things and what's applicable to me. Yun. And the only way to do that is if you apply it. So you have to apply what you've learned for it to be sulit, di ba? Yun, sulit sa oras, sulit sa sa pag-upo sa Zoom, and the money spent for all these learnings. Yun. So not all of what you learned will be useful for you or applicable for you. And the only way you would be able to find that out is if you actually apply what you've learned. Yun. So, di ba? One of the strategies was actually separating blocks of time. If you cannot make a calendar for a whole year, for a whole month, then start with a week or even 3 days or even 1 day, as long as you keep doing it the next day, the next day, the next day again. For the how did you grow your network? Yun, like I said, hindi talaga ako social media person. I don't share a lot on my FB. As from before, actually, if you check it, I usually just share about my Sun Life business, and then from time to time may blip ng something about food, something interesting that I've seen. Yun. Pero tama yung sinabi ni Chuck na stories are powerful. That was one of the key things that I used to grow my network this time. I shared more through my Facebook story. Sorry, hindi ako IG story. Kahit millennial ako, galawang tita. Facebook story lang po. Yon. I shared what I do through the Facebook story. So, yung mga alam ko sa Sun Life na pinapractice ko din that I think my clients would find interesting or useful, ganyan. I share that. Yon. And yung mga other things about what I do throughout my day, throughout my life, ganyan, I share that. And through those stories, I connect with other friends na hindi ko pa pala nakakausap in 10 years, 15 years, ganun. Like since high school, hindi ko pa sila nakakausap kasi they find it interesting. And they comment, ganyan. And then from there, the conversation is opened up again. The connection is reestablished with this person. So I also do that. I also comment on the stories of the people in my network. Every day I do like 10-15 minutes in the morning and at night na I just look at other people's stories, I comment, I like, kung anong meron lang talagang interaction, ganon. So from there, doon siya nag-grow ulit. Yun.
All right. Okay.
Ayan. Alam mo, Louis, sabi natin we will open up the last 15 minutes for our Q&A, but I have noticed wala tayong question sa chat box natin. Isa lang ang ibig sabihin nun. Ang dami nang natututunan ng ating mga attendees. Medyo siguro parang ako, their cup is also full. So we will just continue with our questions. Ayan, Louis. Sige.
Yes. My notebook is full.
Full
I am
din.
I'm the moderator, but I'm writing so much, and I think it's the same with everybody.
Mhm.
Hitik na hitik. Hitik na hitik yung ating session for this morning. Sige, let's proceed with some of the questions that we have here. All right, ito, being very specific na as when it comes to MDRT. MDRT is a commitment that needs to be made every single year. It's a lifestyle nga daw. And for a lot of people, MDRT is the bare minimum, all right, qualification for every year. How did your MDRT mentality and how did the MDRT culture help you in ensuring your success? Okay, how did that help you during this time? Let's start with Kimberly.
When I hear MDRT, the first word that comes to mind is professional. So yun yung tumatak talaga sa utak ko. I actually had a client na the only reason that she signed up with me was because I was an MDRT member before. And I was surprised na she knew what it meant kasi I gave her my card na may nakalagay MDRT. I'm like, oh, MDRT ka pala MDRT ka pala, ganyan. Like, oh, you know what it is, ganyan. Nagulat ako kasi hindi naman siya finance person, ganun. I was just surprised yun. So, being professional, I think this is one of the key things for being an MDRT, and it bleeds throughout your personality, the way you do things, the way you improve yourself. Yun. So I think that's the key aspect of it.
All right. Okay. So MDRT is professionalism, and I think it's what sets MDRTs apart, from in this industry. And I like what you mentioned a while ago, Kim. One client signed up with you because she found out that you're MDRT, and I think the general public, especially the past few years, they have come to appreciate and learn what MDRT stands for. Okay, so kaya napaka-importante ng mga ganitong sessions, no? How about Chuck? No, you were a first-time qualifier. You're a MDRT class of 2020. Okay, how did that help with your mentality, and of course, how did the culture help you with your practice?
Qualifying for 2020 and 2021, for me, I owe it to my clients because MDRT is the standard of excellence. I owe it to them. I want to give the best and I want to be the best. So every year talaga nakaplano siya, not just hitting the MDRT. I want to qualify early. I make sure na May pa lang, June pa lang nagko-qualify na ako, and I am preparing for next year already. Well, in fact, I think for this year, for collection na lang lahat. So I pinagpaplanuhan, pinag-iisipan because I really want it. I want to make sure that my clients nakukuha talaga nila yung best of me. And being an MDRT, I think I will comfort yun sa kanila. At the same time, it will attract more clients in the future. So, yan. And ang atake ko lang sa MDRT ngayon, hindi talaga ako namimili ng case size. Makikita mo sobrang case counter ko. Last month, I was able to finish with 13. For this week, I was able to secure 3 already. So, maliit from 1.5 to 30,000 per month. Same experience, same level of joy and passion yung ibinibigay ko. So, yeah, I gusto ko talaga yung word, Sir Val. I love adding value. So, piling ko add ng value, sobrang ikaw din talaga nadadagdagan ng value. So, yan po.
All right. So that the clients will get the best of you. I think that was the line that stood out with your answer, Chuck. Thank you for sharing that. How about Sir Val?
Yeah, actually tama itong sinabi, being MDRT is a commitment that needs to be made every single year. Actually, hindi lang siya commitment, pressure din siya.
Oh, I know what you mean.
In a way, nakaka-pressure siya, especially kapag nandun ka na dun sa status na yon na you already hit it one time, second time. However, you know what? I realized that MDRT is actually, it goes beyond the recognition, the income, the incentives that is actually attached to it. Para sa akin, MDRT is a testament and recognition for the amount of trust I gathered from the clients I serve. It is the recognition as well to the number of lives na na-secure ko at saka na-protect ko against financial uncertainties, especially during the pandemic. I'm just so happy no na with the 5 years behind me of being MDRT na sunod-sunod consecutive. Katulad nung sinabi ni Chuck, no, it's actually a mix of small, big cases. Pero it doesn't matter anymore, no? If you're really doing this as a profession, as a business, walang small or big cases. It's just the number of lives that you've actually touched by doing our mission. So para sa akin, being an MDRT is just basically living and embracing the mission despite of the pandemic. This will give us more reasons to engage in our market. So para sa akin yun siya. It's really the recognition of the trust given to me by my clients, especially if I'm doing my job well and excellently in terms of putting that mindset of financial security sa kanila.
One of Miss Janet, no, and everybody, I think one of the things, especially for starter or new financial consultants, is when they get introduced to the concept of MDRT, the first thing that comes to mind is I have to hit the FYP or the FYC requirement. So it becomes a metrics game. No, you have to hit the numbers. But as you qualify year in and year out, I like what Val mentioned. It's the recognition of trust given by the clients to you. And it's the same with Kim and Chuck. No? It's no longer about big cases, small cases. It's really, a combination of all. But it's gathering and gaining the trust of your clients. And that's one of the things why MDRT is so valuable, in this industry. Wonderful answers to our questions so far. So here's the last one. Here's the last one. Every single year, traditionally, the MDRT qualification requirements, they go up, save for 2020-2021, wherein it actually went down. And I think this was how the MDRT organization wanted to accommodate what was happening globally. Right? It's a way of accommodating and realizing that, hey, we are in a recovery stage. But the life insurance industry, guys, is extremely competitive. All right? It's extremely competitive. There are I think, more than 300,000 financial consultants spread across the country. What is your approach this year? What are you going to do differently this year? Since we are, in a recovery stage already. A lot of countries are looking into that already. We're recovering. Can you share how you will continuously differentiate yourself from your peers? And if I were a prospect, why should I partner up with you when it comes to my financial goals and aspirations? So let's start with Chuck on this one.
Siguro sa peers, unang-una, I know my niche market. It's very important for a financial advisor. Know your niche market, maximize on it, capitalize on it, kaysa dun sa pumunta ka kagad sa weak mong market, mababaliw ka, mabubuang ka. So that's one. And ang mga hashtag ko, choose Chuck, serbisyong Chuck, serbisyong tiyak, yung mga ganyan. Tapos mayroon pa ako mga photo ko na parang ginawang cartoon. So yun yung mga nilalagay ko sa mga posts ko at sa mga letters ko sa mga clients. And I think yung nag-set apart sa akin sa iba is my branding. So I'm very, I have ownership dun sa branding ko. Ano naman din yung for prospects, bakit choose Chuck ang pipiliin nila? Number one, I think long term. I think this career is for life. So alam mo gusto ko yung recognition of trust. Hindi na siya makabawala sa utak ko, yung recognition of trust. So this is long term, and ang dami nating kilala, syempre hindi nagtatagal sa industriya, and knowing na alam nila na magtatagal ka sa industriya, nakuha mo yung trust nila, definitely they will trust you more. And I will continue to add value yun talaga yun. I will continue to add value. I will continue to invest doon sa service ko para maramdaman nilang VIP sila. So, ayun.
All right. Thanks a lot, Chuck. No, so capitalizing on your niche market, you're going to continue doing that, and of course, again, a very powerful message. No, ownership of his brand. I think that's equally important, especially in this day and age where people are so visual. The hashtags really help. All of the postings, all of the stories that we post online, subconsciously, this is what attracts other people to us and what we're offering. How about Kim? For this year, how are you going to do things differently? How are you going to continuously set yourself apart from others? What are your plans for this year?
So for this year, it's really about following a system or a routine of activities and then inserting new challenges along the way. So for me this year, a new challenge is recruitment and sharing this business with others who are looking for a new opportunity for themselves. Yun. So yung for our clients, big or small case size, that's internal to us eh. Kasi there are no big or small clients kasi for them, kung ano yung meron sila, yun na yung big, di ba? Yun. So there are no big or small clients, professional service pa rin yung ibibigay ko sa kanila. Yung effort is still the same. The best effort ang ibibigay kahit na 10 p.m. pa yan magpa-Zoom meeting just to accommodate their work schedule. I will be there. Yun. So, and I'm not afraid to collaborate with other advisors who know other things that I don't know, just to give the best option to my clients. Yun.
All right. Okay. So again, the strategy, having a foolproof system. All right. And of course, doing the activities routinely. All right. Again, mga sistema na sometimes we overlook, the day-to-day things that we need to do, how often we do them, and consistency in doing these things. That spells the difference between success and failure. All right. Most of the time. How about Val? Yeah, go ahead.
Idagdag ko lang, Louie, sinabi ni Kim, even though she is a manager already, right? Management candidate, right? But you're already there. You're on your way there. She is not afraid to collaborate with other advisors. That speaks a lot about a person's character when it comes to humility. And I think that is important to carry with us as we move up in the ladder of success. So good for you, Kim. Ayan. So we have Val, right?
Yes. Val.
Go ahead, Val.
Yeah, let me just sum up my answer to that pang Miss Universe na question ni Louie.
Lahat kasi pang Miss Universe.
Oo nga.
3 letters lang. GEC. Number 1, my approach will be to continuously grow myself so that I can be more attractive to the market that I want to engage. Number 2 is to continuously engage in this market, in this segment of the market. Yung sinasabi ni Louie kanina na niche marketing. So if I've learned how to grow myself in all aspects, including TikTok, I'm sure I'll be able to reach out to that market. And of course, pangatlo, yung C is contribution. It's always adding value. But I'd like to add to that yung sinabi din ni Kim, which is collaboration. It may be true that the industry can be very competitive in nature, but it is also true that the spirit of collaboration can be very much present and available to all. And that's very evident with the MDRT organization. We are coming from different cultures, different backgrounds, different countries, different companies, and yet we support each other in terms of growing ourselves, in terms of our practice, of our professionalism, and the amount of service that we can actually provide. Like Kim, hindi rin ako takot na i-share or makipag-share ng business with people na alam ko na ang expertise nila will actually meet certain needs of the client that I actually have. And at the same time, also exploring other avenues wherein I can collaborate with other people from different industries as well. Diba? Yung mga pwede nating makreate na COI from the real estate industry, the banking industry. Kasi there's abundance everywhere. So why be afraid of a limited market when in fact the universe is abundant as long as we know how to continuously contribute. That's it. End of share.
That's right. No, GEC, growing ourselves, engaging
Engaging in the
our
market.
markets continuously and consistently, and contributing and adding value. Okay, and Val also touched on collaboration. I think one of the things that I love about MDRT is that there are no insecurities. No,
Yes.
there are no insecurities. When we attend the global conferences and the annual conventions, you can simply, literally go up to those people that you followed, in YouTube. For example, the Sanjay Tulanis, you can go up to them and ask them, "Hey, Sanjay, can we have a photo?" No, and then ask them questions. No, so that's the wonderful thing about this MDRT culture. It's not a culture of competition. It's actually a culture of uplifting each and every financial advisor. Because one of the things that I observed, Miss Janet, okay, is that the stature of the financial advisor, the financial consultant, the past several years has gone up. Don't you agree with me? Can't you agree with me? It has gone up. And one of the goals that we have in MDRT is really to, make the profession extremely professional, right? So that we can be, we can be mentioned in the same breath as other professionals such as accountants, engineers, physicians, no? So that's what I love about MDRT. That's what we love about this industry, and of course, this community that we have.
That's right. That's right. It's professionalizing the career that we are in, no? And I was able to witness, kasi I started in the business 2010, and my family was like, no, you're not doing this. You're not doing this. But some people would call me determined. I call myself stubborn. I stuck with it, and I fell in love with it. And here I am today. Wala nang masabi yung pamilya ko. Kasi this is the business that was able to put food on the table for me and my children, was able to send my kids to very good school, and to give us the luxury in life that we're enjoying right now. And at the same time, we're able to help other people. No? Anong klaseng career or profession na makikita mo na kaparehas tayo ng mga medical practitioners, 'di ba? It makes you proud to be part of this industry. Ayan. So, that's it.
That's it.
That's it. And I am sure na everybody who has joined this meeting and watching us on FB Live and who will be logging on to Facebook later on and watching it again has learned so much. Maraming salamat, Kim, Val, and Chuck, for this 1 hour full of learnings. And maraming salamat for being so generous in sharing your experiences with us. Ang dami-dami namin natutunan. And Louis, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for saying yes to this.
Thank you, Louis.
Ayan.
You're welcome, everybody.
To us.
So, maraming salamat, everybody. And we hope you will block off your February 19, same time. We will post our speakers, the names of our speakers on Monday. So watch out for that. Ayan. Any last words, Louis, panelists?
Well, first and foremost, we want to take this opportunity to thank Miss Janet. Miss Janet, you have been promoting this kind of community and this kind of platform, for the past few years. So thank you for being the epitome of an MDRT, all right, to all of us. And I want to really thank Kimberly, Val, and Chuck. It's a pleasure to meet you. Let us not be strangers to one another. Please expect a lot of friend invites and
Yes.
connection requests from your Facebook. I'll be one of them. No,
Friends
so
of each
yes. Well, let's connect
Friends of
with
each
one another. So it's a wonderful thing wherein you shared. You were very selfless. And please keep on doing God's work, not only to this community, but most especially to your clients. Maraming salamat po. And of course, our audience, those who joined us, and those who will be watching the FB Live once it gets posted, the recording of this session. Thank you so much for being with us. We will see you 2 Saturdays from now for another session. Power pack po to. And of course, we're extending the invitation to Val, Chuck, and Kimberly. Please join us
Yes.
for that session. We have international speakers. All right. So it's a wonderful Saturday. God bless everybody. Maraming salamat po. How about Chuck, Val, and Kimberly? Any parting words for our audience today? Let's start with Kimberly.
Sige, Kimberly na lang.
Wala akong na-prepare. Well, again, thank you sa invitation na to, and thank you sa mga nasa Zoom. Nakita ko sa Facebook Live, meron din palang mga nag-join doon and nagko-comment doon. Kino-quote yung mga sinasabi natin. Nagulat ako.
Artistahin na tayo. Artistahin.
Oo nga, ganito pala yung feeling ng ma-interview. Yun. So, looking forward to the next session. I already put it in my calendar para hindi ko siya makalimutan.
All right. Thank you. How about Chuck?
Thank you for this opportunity. Sa lahat na nakikinig, alam ko lahat tayo financial advisors. Mahirap mag-perform. Mahirap ding hindi mag-perform. Choose your heart.
Correct. Thank you so much, Chuck and Val.
Again, I'm just so happy and grateful to be given this opportunity to collaborate and work together with wonderful people in adding value to the industry, sharing our best practices and strategies and approach, especially during this time. Thank you, Ms. Janet, for being the arrow point in this kind of collaboration and program that allows people to just learn from each other. So let's continue sharing and living life to the fullest by doing our mission as financial planners.
Ayan.
Thank you so much.
So thank you very much, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. And let's keep pushing for 2022 to be successful, more successful this year. Bye.
Bye,
God bless
everybody.
you.
God bless everybody. Bye-bye.